Hi, my name's Kristen and I'm with Decorator's Warehouse. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to walk you through the steps to create this beautiful farmhouse Christmas tree, which is so on trend with the giant oversized jingle bells. We'll be walking you through step by step. Now remember, when it comes to Christmas decor, it is not one size fits all. So take the techniques and the ideas that are presented here in this video and adapt them to meet your needs. All right, let's get started. All right, the first thing that we're gonna do is create a spray topper at the top of our tree, but this topper is actually gonna be pretty minimal. We're gonna use the 3 pieces that you'll see later on in our floral clusters. So I have this great pine spray with the pine cone. I'm gonna lay a berry in with that, and then the red poinsettia at the base of the topper, which this will also be the cluster. So for the 7.5 foot mid-sized tree that I'm doing today, I'm gonna replicate 2 of the clusters for the topper. I would do 2 in a 6.5 foot tree as well. I would do 3 for a 9 foot, and then I would do 5 for a 12 foot. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna run these stems straight down the pole. So I'm gonna start with the biggest piece, which is this mixed foliage piece, and it's gonna run along this greenery here. And then I can use the branches twisted around it to hold it in place. I'm gonna come in next with the berry to give it a little color. And then I'm gonna insert the poinsettia right at the base. And that'll provide a nice transition into the decor of my tree. Right, and then I'll replicate with 1 more on the back side. All right, the next thing I'm gonna do is add in these giant oversized jingle bells, which are so fun and so on trend for 2020. I'm gonna kind of group the small and medium ones together, and then the large one is big enough that it can stand on its own. So I'll kind of split those up as I work them into the tree. I'm gonna be using 4 sets, so 4 of each of the 3 sizes in the 7.5 foot tree. I would go probably to 5 on the 9 foot tree. And since these have the great hangers, I'm gonna utilize the hangers to tie in with the greenery that's already on the tree. So I'll start with my first one kind of in this area. Just twist that in to hold it in place, kind of get the placement that I like. And so we'll zigzag these through the tree. So since I have a grouping here, we'll kind of come in more on this side with the other grouping. All right, all my bells are placed, and as you can see, I did split them up, so groupings of 2 and then the larger ones by themselves. Now, normally right after the topper, I would go into the ribbon, but when you are incorporating the larger scale pieces like this, sometimes it's easier to just place those at the beginning, and then you kind of know where to work your ribbon around it. So I'm gonna come in now, and I have 2 4-inch ribbons. These are 10-yard rolls. They're both wired edge. Wired edge ribbon is great. It's a higher quality and it stands the test of time. So it's something that you can use, year after year. So I'm gonna be layering them, and I have this fun, like farmhouse cozy plaid mixed with this just great texturized ribbon that'll kind of pull in some of the colorations from the florals. So I'll go ahead and layer them. And what I'm gonna do now is create a simple 2-loop bow right here at the base of the topper. And then we're gonna be creating 2-loop runs basically throughout the tree. So some of those runs might have some smaller loops or fun little detailings in them, but they're all gonna include 2 larger scale loops. So we're gonna start with the tail, probably about 6 inches, and I'll come back and do the detailing there. And I'm gonna create a loop. And so, for those of you that have not done bows, it just takes practice, but you're going to twist the ribbon to get the front side forward. Okay, and then I'm gonna create 1 more loop. Now this is a really good quality thick ribbon, so it's a little bit harder to work with on the bow, but that just means it's gonna hold its shape really nicely. And then again, I'll flip that to where the good side is facing forward. So now I'm gonna come in, and that will actually be really cute right at the head of the bells. Cute little detail. I will just twist that into place. Okay, and then I'm gonna come in with a loop, probably about 24 inches. I will secure it with the greenery, and I'm gonna pull it a little bit loose rather than tight like that. We want it to kind of come out and create some dimension in the tree. Okay, and then instead of starting my next loop right under it, I'm gonna kind of pull it to the other side, again creating about a 24-inch loop, secure it with the greenery, then I'll leave a tail and cut. All right, and when I cut for the tail, I'm just gonna cut it at a diagonal. And the nice thing with the wire too, it's gonna hold its place. Okay, and since I have this one kind of in this area, I'm gonna start my next one kind of here in the middle, and I'm gonna go more to the other side of the tree. And this is a mid-size 7.5 foot tree. I'm using 2 10-yard rolls for this tree. I would say 2 to 3 on a 7.5 foot tree, and then maybe 3 to 4 on a 9 foot tree. So 3 if it's a mid-size, 4 if it's a really full tree and you have a whole 360 view. Okay, and I mentioned already that every run is gonna have at least 2 big loops. Sometimes I like to add in smaller loops. I'm not counting this as one of the 2, but it's more of just like a little decorative loop. So I'm gonna stick this one here in the middle. Okay, and one thing that I'm doing as I add the ribbon onto the tree, take a step back and look for big spaces that look a little bit empty right now. And then you can come in and do a couple things. I love like little bow tie detailing, and basically what that is, it's like a 6 to 8 inch tail, and then I'll make a cut here on this side. But so you can just add them in wherever you see spaces to create some detail. I can also go a step further and do a little 1 loop bow. So you would do like a tail, a loop, and then twist it and then cut another tail. You know, those are really cute for detailing, or I could go even further and I could add another loop to create a 2 loop bow. So as I'm looking back, I see that it's kind of empty in this area, but I really don't have enough space to create a 2 loop run. So that's why I'll come in and I'll do the little 1 loop detail. Okay, and you can already see it starting to fill in beautifully. So the next step really takes it over the top. This is our floral layer, and we're gonna use a technique that we use often in our store called floral clustering. And that's a combination of sprays and flowers to basically make big clusters that take big chunks out of your tree. So again, I have the same pieces that I used in my topper, this great pine spray, a berry, and this poinsettia. And I'm gonna lay the pine flat. I'm gonna come in and lay the berry on top and kind of pulling these out. You can pull some of the greenery forward. And then I'm gonna lay the poinsettia flat along the top like that. Okay, and I'm kind of angling that head up just a little bit. Once I've got the placement that I like, I'm gonna take one of the stems. So I'll take this brown one here, and I'm gonna wrap it around all of them to hold it in place. Now the great thing about this is next year, when I go to pull out all of my decor from storage, I have clusters already made and ready to go. So it's so simple to put those back onto the tree. Okay, and then since the stems are long, I'm actually gonna take this, fold it up. That way it won't pop out the other side of the tree. Now what I'll do here, I'm gonna kind of run them along the branch. And then I'm gonna use the greenery of the branches to wrap and hold it in place. And so if I have one kind of in this area, you know, my next one's gonna be more on this side, and I'm gonna diagonal through the tree. Okay, once my floral clusters are placed, I'm gonna come in with some individual stems. I love this floral. That's just a great kind of filler. And then some berry sprays as well. This one's great because it has different textures. You know, red berry you can't go wrong with. And then this fun Jingle Bell that incorporates the long needle. Kind of a good rule of thumb on these. Again, I'm sticking with the 1 per foot in the body of the tree. So like on the clusters, the 7.5 foot tree has 7 clusters and then 7 of each of the individual stems. I'm not counting the 2 in the topper here. This is just in the body of the tree. All right, so now I'm gonna kind of come in between the ones that I've already placed and place my single stem florals. And the last spray I'm gonna add is this great berry. We use these in all sorts of designs just because of the great texture that it brings. All right, and you can see it's filling in so nicely. We have our last layer to do, which is the more specialized ornaments. So I'm gonna add in some fun Christmas tree farms, some metal snowflakes to kind of pull in that galvanized look, and then some cute little Christmas tree signs. And whenever I place the ornaments, I'm actually gonna wrap the string around the branch really tight so that I can maintain control of where the ornament goes. I'm just twisting it around the branch. Well, that concludes our beautiful farmhouse Christmas tree. We hope that you enjoyed and that you were able to take a few pieces of advice and adapt them into your own decor at home. If you love everything that you see here, feel free to visit us at decoratorswarehouse.com and you can purchase the entire farmhouse tree bundle. We've set it up so that it's easy for you and taken all the guesswork out of the equation by providing the exact right quantities for your Christmas tree. Also, if you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at Decorators Warehouse, and we're on Instagram as well. We love to see your Christmas decor too. So if you've tried some of these techniques, be sure to use #DWChristmas so we can see. Thank you and Merry Christmas.